channel and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League. This is our Tuesday challenge. We're coming to you live. This is the GR2s or the Group 2s championship that we have running, and this week we are in Italy at Sardegna on the A track. Now I'm just waiting for my race technician to give me the thumbs up to say that we're all okay and that everybody can hear us. So as soon as I get the thumbs up from him, then I know we're all good to go, and you can all hear me all right. So I'm just going to sort of pause just for a minute, and hopefully I will be told that you can all hear me and it's all good. If anybody is watching, by the way, oh, there we go, I've just had the thumbs up from our race technician, and he's telling me all good, so thank you very much for that, Ian. I do appreciate it. Right, so as I say, we are with the GR2s or Group 2 guys, whatever you want to call it, and we're here thanks to our sponsors, and that is W.GG, the energy drink for gamers. If you head over to their website and type in the code URL7, you may be able to grab yourself a bit of a discount on some of their products. And also to Eldridge Air Conditioning, our other sponsor for this season, so thank you to those guys, it is really appreciated. Now I'm going to go and have a bit of a quick look at some of the guys going around the track. We can see Cherry Bomb. I'm going to get some information up as well, so we're all good to go, although they'll all probably go off when the race starts. But the guys are just out there having a bit of a practice at the minute, having a bit of a tyre warm. Brian Moncani out there as well. TJ's back. He was here I think for the first race and then missed a couple, but he's back for this one, so glad to have him back. And it is pronounced TJ, not Tiju or whatever it was I was trying to say before, but it is TJ. We've got Chuck there in the Takata, what they say, Dizzy Rip, also having a blast round. And then in the pits we've got Osman, excuse me, we've got Mohammed Ali, we've got Grasshopper, Paul and Smoky Tom, all sitting in the pits waiting for their mechanics to do something, and it doesn't look like there's a lot going to be happening for them, does it? So we're all just waiting for the race to start. Fantastic view of all the mountains in the background. This is a fictional track, so there are no names. I've made a couple up, but if anybody's got any suggestions, then let us have them. But it is fictional, but it is just over 3 miles long, and there are 15 turns, 1 chicane, and a couple of pointy corners, and of course it is famous for the chicane of death, as we've just seen Cherry Bomb go through there, which in a GR2 car, if you hit that, you are going to cause some damage. I think full damage is on for this one as well, so if the guys do have a big smash, they are going to have to come into the pits to get that damage repaired. So let's just have a look and see if we can see anybody that is going to go through the chicane. It looks like it might be Brian first, unless they do exactly that and start a race. But we're just going to go down the order then. So we've got TJ in pole position, Grasshopper in second, Osman third, Cherry Bomb fourth, Brian Moncani is fifth, Mohammed Ali sixth, Paul is seventh, Chuck eighth, Dizzy Rip 9th, and Smoky Tom is 10th. Now it is reverse grid order according to league positions. So TJ, having missed a few rounds, is at the bottom of the league at the minute, and Smoky Tom is at the top. So TJ starts at the front, Smoky Tom at the back. You get the gist of it all, don't you? So as we follow the guys through the first of the chicanes, it's not Sardegna, is it? What am I on about? It's Seaside. I'm looking at the wrong track. It's this is Seaside in Croatia, so please forgive me for that. I don't know what I was looking at there, and I'll see if I can find the right track. I bet you're all thinking, what the hell's he on about? This one is just basically it's a triangle, and I'm going to try and find the track map. I know I've got one, so let's have a look and see if we can find it for you. Although I do know quite a lot of these tracks anyway, as we follow the guys through. So let's just have a look. TJ still out in front, Grasshopper in second, Osman third, Cherry Bomb fourth. As we go through the chicane, let's just make sure everybody is getting through there. And it looks like we have. Everybody seems to be making it through the first time round, so well done to the guys for that. Maybe a little bit cautious, and that may go out the window as the race progresses. I'm still looking for my map guide, so forgive me for that. I'm just bringing up the wrong guide, eh? How stupid's that? Never mind. So TJ out in front. Now remember, all tyre compounds have to be used, so they can start on whatever they like, and you can see that TJ has gone for the softs, Grasshopper on the softs. So is Osman. In fact, we'll just go down until we find somebody on something different. There we go, Brian Moncani electing to go for the mediums for this first stint. I've still got, we've done half race on some a lot of tracks, because I'm struggling to find the one I actually want. I don't know if you can hear all the paper shuffling, and I do apologise for that. And I know I've got it here somewhere. There we go, Bergen Trail, Seaside, and I brought up the reverse one, never mind. Right, so back to the racing, and I'm going to leave all the paperwork there, because I know it is shuffling away in your ears, and you don't need that. So Brian is on the mediums, he's the first one on the mediums as we go through the chicane for the second time. Oh, and we have had a spin. Let's have a look. It's Paul. Now Paul, he must have hit the barrier. Now we can't go back, obviously it's live, so he has got damage to the front and the back. Paul just parking there waiting for everybody to go by, which they have. So that is so unlucky for Paul. He has managed to catch the chicane. It looks like on the way out, so that has put him all the way to the back. So the chicane has managed to claim its first victim in the shape of Paul. So TJ still out in front as we go around. It's going to be turn 6, so I've got the reverse grid in front. Oh, there it is. There we go. I knew we'd get there eventually. So TJ just opening up a little bit of a gap back to Osman. Osman's still trying to stay in touch though, or he's got his teammate Grasshopper right up behind him, pushing him along. Now I think bump testing is allowed, but only with your teammates, so Grasshopper and Osman can work together, unless there's been a bit of a chat over the radio between the two of them to say that Grasshopper can go through, although I don't think Osman's going to let him. It may be just all out war and race as you would if you were not teammates, but we shall see. Osman in second, Grasshopper in third. Then we do have a bit of a gap back to Brian, but Brian is on the medium tyres. Then we've got Chuck also on the mediums, Smoky Tom, our current league leader, on the hard tyres. Now Smoky Tom does like to start on the harder compounds, as we know. If you're listening on a regular basis, you will know that. So Smoky Tom, he's made his way up to 6. Graham on the mediums, he's in 7th with Dizzy Rip, Cherry Bomb, and then Paul after that little bump there. Now I'm wondering if something's happened to Cherry Bomb as well, because he's quite off the back of Dizzy Rip. Unfortunately, what I'd say, when you're broadcasting live, you can't keep flicking backwards and forwards through the race, so we just have to take it as we see it. But Cherry Bomb in 9th, so whether he's had an issue as well. So back up to our current race leader, TJ, out in front as he goes through turns 8, 9 and 10 up the hill, and then he goes back down the hill towards turn 12. This sweeping right-hander, it's longer than you think it is, that turn, and then he heads towards the chicane. let's go on board with TJ and get his view of that chicane. And you can see the walls are ready to leap out at you at any moment. So that's TJ out in front, Osman, then Grasshopper. Maybe Grasshopper's just quite happy to sit there behind Osman at the minute. He's saving a bit of fuel when he gets into the slipstream, especially on these straights. As they go across the start-finish line to start lap 5, what a fantastic view of those mountains in the background. I'm sure the drivers are concentrating on the road, not the mountains, but we can have a look, can't we? And they do look very impressive. So we see Grasshopper in third, Brian Moncani still in fourth. He's on the medium tyres, as we say before. So Brian hoping to go a little bit further into the race. He's all on his own by the looks of it. Chuck is desperately trying to catch up with him. Then we've got Smoky Tom in sixth. Smoky doing a good job on the hard tyres, especially round here. Like I say, this track is basically a triangle with 3 chicane bits in it. One of the chicanes is this. Well, it's not even a chicane, is it? It's more of a few sweeping bends put together, and that was turns 8, 9 and 10 as the guys just gone through there, down the hill through 11 to 12, and then it is into the proper chicane for Smoky Tom. So we'll just follow Smoky Tom as he approaches the chicane. I'm sure he's going to be okay. Trying not to scrape the wall or catch that barrier on the way out, and Smoky does a good job of getting through there. Graham in 7th. Then we've got Dizzy Rip. Dizzy Rip just coming into the chicane now, so we will follow him through as well. And through safely goes Dizzy Rip. Cherry Bomb in 9th. Now he's on the soft tyres, so he needs to get a move on before they start to disintegrate on him if he wants to catch up to the back of Dizzy Rip. Now you can see he's got a 7-second gap between himself and Dizzy Rip. This is a good thing about watching these races live. We can actually see the difference between the times, the distance between the guys in times. And there we have the fastest lap as well, a 1:29.1 from Osman, currently in 2nd. Paul catching up to the back of Cherry Bomb. He's about 5.5 seconds behind him. So a bit of work to do for Paul. You just got to keep your head down, concentrate, and get on with it. TJ up at the front. Now he is coming under pressure from Osman now. Osman has got a lot closer to TJ. Both on the soft tyres, remember. And Osman is now starting to put the pressure on. Now if he gets a good exit out of turn 17. So the track information I told you all at the beginning, ignore all of that. This is a 3.2 mile track with 17 turns. And TJ and Osman are flying around there in about well, just under a minute and a half. Now Osman really is putting the pressure on TJ now as we head towards, go through turn 5 up to turn 6, and this is turn 6, and TJ through, Osman through, Grasshopper through. Osman just cannot quite get close enough to make a move on TJ. TJ doing a fantastic job of defending this lead as they go up through turns 7, 8, 9 and 10, through 11 and down towards 12, looking at all the nice yachts in the harbour there on the left. All the VIPs have parked their boats ready for this race. So through the chicane, it looked like Oz. Oh, it looks like he had a bit of a touch on the barrier there, but that may have been a little bit of lag. His car seemed to be jumping from side to side just for a second or two there, but Osman has pulled to the inside of TJ. And Oz gets through. TJ trying the cutback. Fantastic move from Osman to get himself up into the lead. TJ slots in behind him and tries to pick up the slipstream. Grasshopper in third, still trying to keep up with these two as they go into turns 2 and 3, which is the first of the chicanes. Oh, TJ get himself all out of shape, manages to save it, but that just opened the door for Grasshopper, and he dived through there, didn't he? So it's the two teammates now, 1 and 2, with TJ having to slot in behind, and Osman, he's starting to open up a little bit of a gap. There's a, what is there now, just over a second gap between himself and Grasshopper. Although that is coming down, TJ dropping off the pace a little bit. If we're having a look at the tyres, let's have a look. Osman, he's about 45% wear on the left hand side, same with Grasshopper. Now TJ has he's probably got a bit more, about 55% wear, so TJ's been a little bit tougher on his tyres. Brian Moncani, he's okay for tyres, he's on the mediums. Chuck also on the mediums, sitting in 5th. Just trying to follow Brian Moncani around. Smoky Tom on the hard tyres, he is sitting in 6th. Remember, all 3 tyre compounds are to be used, and this is a 60-minute race, so the guys would have worked out their strategy before this race, how many laps they want to do on each compound. Smokey's still on the hards. Then we've got Graham down in 7th. He's on the mediums. Cherry Bomb, he's all on his own. Bit of a lonely race for Cherry Bomb. He's got nothing in front of him to sort of go at, and he's got nobody behind him to defend from, so it's going to be hard for him to concentrate, but he's just got to get his head down and get on with it. Paul in 9th. He's got Dizzy Rip for company. Remember, Paul had that incident in the chicane in the early laps, and then Dizzy Rip, I'm not sure what happened to Dizzy Rip, but he finds himself down in 10th. So back up to our current race leader, which is Osman. 1.5 second lead over his teammate Grasshopper, and Grasshopper in turn, he's got just under a 2 second gap back to TJ. So Grasshopper could really do with getting a little bit closer to Osman, getting the slipstream. That'll help him with his fuel and his tyres as they head down to the first of the chicanes, turns 2 and 3 for the 10th time. These cars really getting around this track. Osman still holding the fastest lap, a 1:29.1. Let's go down and see if we can find any kind of battling going on. Brian Moncani in 4th. Then we've got Chuck, Smoky Tom, Graham, Cherry Bomb, Paul and Dizzy Rip. So everybody is very spread out. Everybody's very spread out. No real fight going on. So what I think we will do, we will follow Osman round, and when he goes up to the start finish line, we will go on board with Osman, and we shall see a full lap with Osman, see how it should be done. I think he is, he's just got over 1.5 second gap now back to Grasshopper, so Osman is not he's not easing up. So let's go on board then with Osman as he takes us across the start finish line to start lap 11. So towards turn 1, full throttle, bit of a right hander, then it's hard on the brakes into this chicane, the left then the right of turns 2 and then 3. You don't want to go too far out on the left, through turn 4, into turn 5, nicking a bit of the corner, and then into turn 6, this sharp right hander, one of the first of the sharp right handers. up a slight hill, then it goes down through turn 7, 8. Wave at the crowd on the right. Try not to take too much of them curves because they will pull you round. As we go through turns 10, then 11, then we start on down the hill then towards turn 12, which is the second of the right-handers. And then it is up to the chicane. Nicking as much of those curves as you can, just barely scraping the wall on the right, so that it'll give you a good exit, and Osman makes it look so easy through the tunnels and down towards turn 17, which is the final right-hander, and then back onto the start-finish straight. And that is a lap of Dragon Trail Seaside with our current race leader Osman, and the fastest lap of 1:29.1. Grasshopper just sitting behind him, his teammate in second. Now I can only guess that TJ has come in. He has. So TJ has come into the pits while we were watching Osman. TJ, who was in third, he was leading for the first 6-7 laps. He's come into the pits and he's gone on to the hard tyres now, and he's come back out in 7th. So Brian Moncani on the medium tyres has moved up to 3rd with Chuck in 4th. Smoky Tom sitting in 5th, he's still on the hard tyres, is Smoky Tom. He's got Graham for company now in 6th. Graham has done a great job of catching up to the back of Smoky Tom. Graham on the medium tyres. So we'll see how far these guys want to take these. Smoky Tom, I'm guessing, will go a little bit further. We are just approaching 18 minutes into this race as Graham goes past Smoky. Graham, as I say, is on the medium tyres, so he should have a slight advantage through the corners, although Smoky Tom is fighting back. We'll go on board with Smoky Tom as we try and chase Graham down. If we have a look, there's nothing behind us apart from that hat box. We've got Graham just in front, so Smoky Tom coming up to turn 1. Full throttle, then it's hard on the brakes into the chicane again. Now this is where Smoky Tom may struggle a little bit because of those tyres. Graham should have the advantage, he can get the tyre to turn. Smoky Tom doing a good job though. Cherry Bomb has come into the pits, so he's going to get rid of his soft tyres and go on to the mediums or the hards. Now if you do want to see what's going on in League 2, this is League 1. If you do want to see what's going on in League 2, you can hop over to John's channel, and that's Ruthless Rufus. I always get that the wrong way around, so it's Ruthless Rufus on YouTube, and he will be covering the League 2 guys. So as I say, if you do want to see what's happening over there, then go and check out John's channel. But in the meantime, we are still here with the League 1s. Oh, as Osman decides to come into the pits. Now I don't know if that was a late decision, but he seemed to sort of drift into the pit. And there's the pit crew all ready and waiting for him. So a change of tyres for Osman. Grasshopper has decided to come in as well, and it's because of the fuel. I've just noticed, if you have a look at the fuel on both of these cars, they are about out. Brian Moncani though has decided he's going to do one more lap, although his fuel light is flashing, but Brian thinks he can get another lap out of it. So Brian stays out, Chuck stays out as well. He's also got the fuel light flashing, same as Graham, so I would imagine they're all going to be in the same situation. Yeah, they are. Smoky Tom with the fuel. Osman out of the pits onto medium tyres, full tank of fuel. Rejoined in 5th. Grasshopper has rejoined in 6th. Now Osman has come out on medium tyres, Grasshopper has come out on softs. So a change of tactics between the team members. So Grasshopper is actually, what is he now, just over 4.5 seconds behind Osman. So he's going to have to make them soft tyres work for him if he wants to get back. Oh, as I say that, he's gone off onto the sand and had a bit of a smash there. He's got damage to the front, and that's dropped him down to 7th as TJ goes by. That's not what Grasshopper wanted, a lapse of concentration, I think. And that's dropped him to 7th behind TJ. TJ on the hard tyres, he's done a few laps on them now. Now Brian's decided to come in. Well, he's had to come in. He's not going to get very far, is he, on no fuel? Chuck's the same. He's come in. Graham's come in. Smokey's come in. So Osman now should retake the lead. And he does. He goes by. There's the pit exit just before turn 1, and Osman retakes the lead, and he's out there on his own, isn't he? He's got the track all to himself. So that's Osman out in front. TJ is second. Brian Moncani has come out in third. He is now on the softs, so let's see what Brian can do now he's got the soft tyres on. Chuck has come out on the hards. So I'm expecting the gap between Brian and Chuck to increase with each turn. Graham, he's now out on the hard tyres, and Smoky Tom on the mediums. Smoky Tom, if you remember, did start on the hard, so he's now onto the mediums. Softs will be his next stop. Where are we now? We are 22.5 minutes into this 60-minute race. Grasshopper down in 7th after that smash with the barrier earlier on. Really didn't need that as he heads down to turn 12. Dizzy Rip in 8th. He's on the hard tyres still. And Paul also on the hards. Cherry Bomb on the mediums after his stop. So again, no real battles going on, everybody doing their stops and coming back out with no dramas. The nearest we've got, I think, to a bit of a battle is Brian and Chuck, but Brian, as we suspected, is actually opening up a bit of a gap back to Chuck because of Brian's on the softs and Chuck on the hard tyres. So Brian will definitely have an advantage through the turns. Dizzy Rip into the pits. We see. So Dizzy Rip going to get rid of them hard tyres and pick up some fuel. Now Graham coming under a bit of pressure from Smoky Tom. Graham's running the hard tyres, Smoky Tom on the mediums. So Smoky Tom really starting to put the pressure on Graham now. So if we go on board with Graham and follow him up through turns 7, 8, 9 and then through 10. Oh no, and Smoky Tom has stuck it into barrier, and that was unlucky. He was I thought he was going to be putting a challenge in on Graham, which is why we jumped into the car with Graham so we could see what was going on, and Smoky Tom has just slammed it into the barrier. That's allowed Grasshopper to go through, and it has put some distance between him as well. He is now 10 seconds behind Grasshopper. It's just fortunate for Smoky Tom that Paul is a lot further back. Well, we missed it. We're not quite sure what happened to Smoky Tom. I'm guessing he got his wheels on the curb and it's just pulled him over onto the gravel and into the barrier. Not what he wanted. We've got Paul down in 8th, Cherry Bomb 9th, and Smoky Tom has decided to come into the pits. He's only just changed them tyres, hasn't he? So maybe that bump. Oh, he's on to he's on to do a repair, isn't he? Of course he is. He's got damage to the front and the back, so the mechanics have had to do a repair for him. which has cost him a bit more time. And now Paul is right on the back of Smoky Tom. So that one mistake has cost Smoky so much time. He's now, what, 25 seconds, 26 seconds behind Grasshopper, and he's now got Paul all over the back of him. Paul is on the hard tyres though, so Smoky Tom should be okay, as long as he doesn't make any more mistakes like he did, and he really is taking chunks out of these curbs. Well, I'm guessing, like I say, that's what's happened. He's just gone too far over the curb and it's pulled him onto the gravel. Let's make a juice there. Now please remember, if you do enjoy this this content, this type of racing, if you can hit that like button, it would be appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed, well, why not do so? And then you'll get to see these races every time we put them out there. So yeah, hit that subscribe button as well, and thanks to everybody that has already done that. I hope you are enjoying all the races that we at URL are putting out. The Sunday season has just started. We had our first race this weekend, so we've got another 9 weeks of that to go. There are the multi-class on Wednesdays is still going on. Some great racing to be had there with the GR1s and the GR3 cars on track at the same time. We've got this one, which is the Group 2 racing. So there's plenty to see and watch. If you want to get involved, just get onto the URL website. It's url.ultimateracingligue.com. Get signed up, and hopefully we can get you out on track in one of these races. So we're going to have a quick rundown from the top. Osman, he is really out on his own now. He is just over 13 seconds ahead of TJ. TJ in second, but he has got Brian Moncani all over the back of him now. So I wanted to see what Brian could do on the soft tyres, and he's doing a bloody good job, I must say. TJ is on the hard tyres, but it's still up to Brian to catch up with him, and Brian is doing exactly that. So these two having a proper fight now. TJ's going to have to do everything he can to defend against Brian, but Brian having the softer tyres, it's surely only a matter of time before he can make a move on TJ and get that second podium spot away from him as we go down the hill towards turn 12 for the 19th time. We are fast approaching the halfway mark of this 60-minute race as we head towards the chicane of death, as people call it. Brian car, a little bit of glitch on that car. Said it many times, there's nothing the actual drivers can do about it. It is all internet issues. But Brian doing the best he can to get onto the back of TJ. We will have a quick rundown of the order, just see if there's any other battles. If not, we'll come back to these guys. So Chucky's in 4th. Grasshopper now down in 5th. He's managed to get himself back up into 5th. Graham 6th, Smoky Tom 7th, Paul is in 8th, Cherry Bomb 9th, and then Dizzy Rip in 10th. So the race really is at the minute between TJ and Brian Moncani for that second podium spot. TJ doing a great job of keeping Brian behind him, but Brian is getting closer and closer. Again through turn 8, 9, 10, and then down the hill. See if you can see your yacht in the harbour there. TJ takes this right hander. In fact, we'll go on board with TJ Sowie, and as we look behind us as we go through the chicane, I'm sure TJ's not looking behind him as we go through the chicane, but we certainly can. and we can just about see Brian's car there above the hat box as we go towards turn 17, and then on to the straight. Now this straight, not that long, it's only 653 metres, so not the longest of straights to make a move on. So through turn 1 we go. Brian's still there, and in the corners Brian catches up, but TJ just seems to pull away from him a little bit, although Brian is now a lot closer. You can see him in the rear view mirror. So through turn 6 they go. Now Brian needs a good exit here, and I think he's got one. He's putting in the challenge. He is on the outside though, so Brian is going to have to go the long way round if he wants this one. He's done it. He's managed to get himself in front, so Brian moves up into second. What a fantastic move. He actually did go round the outside through turn 7 and 8, but he's managed to get himself in front of TJ. But TJ is coming back. Is he going to have a look? No, he's not. I thought TJ may have tried to have a look at the inside of Brian then, but decided against it. So Brian in second, TJ in third as they go through the chicane. Trying not to hit the barriers, and neither of them do. Now then, TJ got a great exit from that chicane, and he has managed to get alongside Brian again and on the inside. So this could be TJ taking that second spot away from Brian again. Brian trying to go around the outside. TJ gets it done. Brian coming back at him. Let's jump out and have a look from a different angle at these two guys as they go down towards turn 1. Brian still hanging it around the outside into turn 1. He's up to slot in behind TJ up towards the chicane and turn 2 and 3. And Brian just drops straight back in behind TJ. Some fantastic racing between these two, no contact at all, but all that racing should have allowed Chuck to catch up, and he's not that far behind now. But I'm just having a look at the fuel. So Brian really, I mean, he doesn't know how much fuel TJ's got, but Brian can just back off a little bit and follow TJ round, pick up a bit of slipstreaming, because TJ is going to have to pit. Now whether he does it at the end of this lap, only TJ knows. I'm guessing he will, but he's done a fantastic job on the hard tyres. Brian on the softs, he's okay for fuel. He's got half a tank, but the tyres now showing about 50% wear. I think Brian will stay out, and he will take that second position when TJ comes in to the pits. Brian, like I say, he doesn't know how much fuel TJ's got, but does TJ stay to the right? I think he has. Yeah, TJ into the pits then, so Brian carries on and takes that second position, 20 seconds behind Osman, which is it's a long time to catch up, especially on worn soft tyres. Chuck now moves up into third. Grasshopper is fourth. We've got Graham in fifth. As TJ now on his way out of the pit, he is going to rejoin in sixth, and he has got some soft tyres on. So we've seen how good he is with the hard tyres. So let's see what he can do on the softs. The guys in front of him have got a pit. Smokey Tom in seventh. Cherry Bomb 8th, Dizzy Rip 9th, and Paul in 10th. Paul's made another stop and gone on to the mediums with a full tank of fuel. Been a tough race for Paul since the incident at the chicane in the first couple of laps. He's never really recovered from that, and we can just see in the distance there Osman coming around turn 17 onto the straight, so Paul may well be lapped soon by Osman, and there he is. So Osman going through turns 2 and 3. You can see the blue flags are waving, and I'm sure Paul will move out of the way. He's not going to hold Osman up. Brian Mulcahy in second. Now Brian coming under a bit of pressure from Chuck, and Chuck is on the hard tyres, although they've got less wear on them. Brian, he's got about 50% wear on all 4 of his tyres, so he will start to feel that very soon, and that's probably why he's allowed Chuck to catch up. Brian's probably just eased off a little bit, maybe fuel saving. Brian has got well, just under half a tank left. We've got 24 minutes of this race to go, so I'm suspecting Brian might be doing a little bit of fuel saving, which is why Chuck's caught him up. But he's good at least for another 2 or 3 laps, I think. He's Brian. Chuck should be able to stay with him. He's got just over a quarter tank of fuel as well, and the tyres are looking good on Chuck's car, so he's good for quite a few laps as well. Everyone in the same car, obviously. It is the Lexus, the RCF GT500, the GR2. So there is no difference in the power unit that's under that bonnet or in the middle of the car. I don't know where it is on these, I'm not a mechanic. Was that Grasshopper getting a little bit out of sorts? No, Grasshopper is into the pits. His tyres are worn, so Grasshopper comes into the pits, currently in 4th. Graham, he's going to go through and take that 4th position. Graham running the hard tyres at the minute. He's got a quarter tank of fuel, so Graham's okay for a few laps. TJ goes through as well, having made his stop earlier. TJ now in 5th. And Grasshopper just making his way out now, and he's going to rejoin in 6th, or is it 7th? Smoky Tom goes through. So Grasshopper rejoins after that stop in 7th. Smoky Tom has gone through just ahead of him, and we've got a yellow flag. Oh, and Chuck, what has happened to Chuck? He may have overcooked it as we've gone through turn 6, and it looks like he's had a bit of a spin. He's got damage at the front and rear, so that may mean a trip to the pits to let the mechanics change the bumpers on that thing. That is so unlucky for Chuck. He's in 5th. He was having a decent race, but now he's going to have to come in and get that damage sorted out, which is going to put him all the way down the order. And you can just see Smoky Tom and Grasshopper in the background. We're just going to follow Chuck through. Oh, he's had a bit of a scrape with the barrier as well. That's not going to help. That's damaged his tyres. So let's just see if Chuck's going to ride this one out, or is he going to come into the pits to get that repair done? I think he is, yeah. So Chuck into the pits, get the damage repaired. That's going to allow Smoky to go through. Grasshopper goes through. Cherry Bomb is he's just a bit too far back, I think, to no, he's not, sorry, I'm looking at it the wrong way round. Sorry, Cherry Bomb has moved up into 7th. Dizzy Rip's gone through as well, so yeah, Chuck all the way down the order, and he's having the repairs done, and that is painful to watch. So we shall move up. Ball in 10th. Osman into the pits then. This will be his final pit stop, I believe, for Osman. Change of tyres and some fuel. Now he should get out ahead of Brian. Osman is out. Oh, Osman has picked up a 3-second penalty as well, but looking at it, that's not going to affect his track position, but all it will do is allow Brian to get that little bit closer. Although looking at Brian's tyres, that's not going to matter that much, because Brian will have to pit. The next one down from that is TJ, and he is well, he's about 25 seconds off of Osman, so Osman's 3-second penalty won't really matter that much. I'm sure he doesn't want it, but there you go, he'll still be out in front. Smoky Tom in 4th with Grasshopper just behind him in 5th. Now Smoky on the mediums, Grasshopper on a fresh set of mediums. So Grasshopper trying to chase Smoky Tom down. Let's see if we can find out who's having a bit of a fight. Graham in 6th, Dizzy Rip 7th, Chuck is 8th, Paul in 9th, Cherry Bomb just coming out of the pit in 10th. Osman serving his penalty. And Brian Moncani. Brian can actually see Osman, but as I say, Brian's going to have to pit. Now whether he comes in at the end of this lap or he decides to stay out. Is that Osman? Osman's gone back in the pit again. Well, I think what Osman has decided to do is he's just done a stint on the hard tyre. I think it is just one lap you have to do. Osman's done it, and he's going to come back out on a fresh set of probably soft tyres, I would imagine. Yeah, there we go. So Osman has come back out, fresh set of soft tyres, full tank of fuel, which is going to take him to the end of the race. We've got 8 minutes left. TJ has moved up into 2nd and Brian in 1st, although Brian has got some damage at the front as well, so he's just had an incident. The fuel light's on, the tyres are gone, so Brian now is going to have to nurse that car back to the pits, and that's probably why he's picked up the damage, because them tyres are gone. They're going to start giving up on him, and he's just asking too much of them. So Brian, as he goes around turn 12, he's going to have to be careful as we go through the chicane. He doesn't want any more incidents, does he? Now he's 11 seconds in front of TJ. We're probably looking at 25, 30 seconds in the pit to repair the damage as well. So I'm guessing that Brian will be looking at coming out maybe around where Smoky Tom and Grasshopper is. He may even come out behind Grasshopper. But let's have a look. So Brian has had to come into the pits, as we say. He needs some tyres, he's got some damage to repair and some fuel to take on board. As TJ crosses the line and starts lap 29 and takes over the lead of this race, Osman moves up into 2nd. Now Osman is out on a fresh set of soft tyres. TJ is about 45-50% through his left front tyre. Now he was quite tough on the tyres at the first part of the race. So let's see if he does the same again. Now if Osman wants to win this one, he's got 6 minutes to do it. Let's just have a look at the time difference. So it's 3.4 seconds. TJ does seem to be pulling away. Oh no, there we go. Osman now starting to catch up to the back of TJ, 3.3. Grasshopper in 3rd, so we're back to where we were at the start of this race, with TJ leading, Osman 2nd and Grasshopper 3rd. Brian's rejoined in 4th. So he came out a lot quicker than I thought he would. He's not took a full tank of fuel on though, but even so, Brian back out in 4th. Fantastic work from the mechanics. Graham in 5th, Smoky Tom in 6th. He's got Chuck following him through, both on the soft tyres now, although Chuck's slightly more worn, but he'll be hoping to catch up with Smoky Tom. Then we've got Paul, who's made his way up to 8th. Cherry Bomb 9th and Dizzy Rip down in 10th. So the gap between TJ and Osman is now down to just under 2 seconds. So Osman is catching. He's only got 4.5 minutes though, which is what, going to be through 3 laps. So TJ has got his eyes, oh no, the fuel lights on, so TJ is going to have to pit. So I think he's just handed the race to Osman. TJ is going to have to come in and get a splash of fuel, which is so unfortunate for him with only 4 minutes. No, sorry, 14 minutes. What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm having a bad night tonight, aren't I? 14 minutes. There is another league that runs 50-minute races, which is what I'm thinking of now. So anyway, TJ is going to have to come into the pits. He decides to do it now. Osman retakes the lead. We got that bit right, didn't we? Osman's got into the lead. Grasshopper's going to come through and regain second. And through he goes. Now Brian Moncani has just come around turn 17. The fuel is going into TJ's car. So TJ now coming out of the pits, but as you see, Brian has already gone through. So TJ rejoins in 4th, although Graham might just get ahead of him, and he does. Graham came around there like a rocket and dived in front of TJ and has moved up into 4th. Graham on soft tyres, TJ on a brand new set of mediums. So Graham has got some defending to do against TJ, who has he's led for a good part of this race, to be honest, and has looked very quick. If they want to catch up to Osman though, they've got what, nearly 26 seconds to catch. So TJ is just going to put the pressure on Graham now. Let's have a look at Brian. Where's Brian? Well, Brian is not that far in front of these guys. It's great to see Graham up there in amongst the leaders. And Graham is only he's only 3.5 seconds behind Brian. And Brian is on the hard tyres. So Osman out in the lead on his own. Well, he spent most of the race on his own, hasn't he? Had a great race as Osman. Grasshopper, his teammate, in second. He's all on his own as well. No real pressure for Grasshopper. Brian in third. As we see Paul coming into the pits, this will probably be for his last stop. With Graham in fourth, just edging away from TJ. So whether TJ's made a slight mistake, I'm not sure, but Graham is pulling away. So TJ in fifth, Smoky Tom down in sixth, Chuck just behind him in seventh. Cherry Bomb 8th, Dizzy Rip, and then Paul just out of the pits now on a fresh set of soft tyres to take him to the end of the race. We are just coming up to 10.5 minutes left of this race. We are on lap 32. So we'll see if we can find out where any battles are taking place. Definitely not between Osman and Grasshopper, because there is nearly 15 seconds between the two of them. Brian Moncani in third, but Graham is definitely catching Brian. Graham is only just over 2 seconds away from the back of Brian. And he has managed to open up a bit of a gap back to TJ, who's currently in 5th position. TJ on the fresh medium tyres though. Graham on the worn softs, although they do seem to be holding up for him at the minute. And Graham has definitely got his sights fixed firmly on the back of Brian Moncani's car. Let's go on board with Graham. as we go through turns 7, 8, 9, and up through 10, onto 11. There's 11, and then we start down the hill, and as I say, we can see Brian Moncani right in front of us now. So Graham definitely wants to get on the podium, doesn't he? Well, he was flat out through there, which is fantastic, driving from Graham to take that chicane at full throttle. I think he just lifted as he came out, but he definitely wants to take that spot off of Brian, doesn't he? Oh, was TJ getting all out of sorts? Oh, and he's binned it. TJ coming out of turn 17, the back end decided it was going to come round on him, and TJ couldn't hold it, and he is into the barrier. He has got damage as well, just after the pit lane, which is so unlucky, which means he's got to do a full lap with that damage, and then he's going to have to pit to get it repaired. So what a disaster for TJ. He was on a fantastic race as well, especially the early stages. He's now going to have Smoky Tom and Chuck all over him very, very quickly. So let's just have a look at what's happening between Brian and Graham. Graham is now all over Brian as we see them coming up to the chicane for the 34th time. I'm not sure how affected these cars are with dirty air. Graham has really got his foot on the noisy pedal as he goes through that chicane. The grip in these GR2 cars is fantastic, because you try that in a Group 3 or a 4, there's only a few can do it. Excuse me. But Graham definitely in the slipstream now. As we're going into the chicane. Oh, Brian just getting a bit of a slide going there, and that may, oh, Graham, hold on to it, come on. Well, Graham did really well to hold on to that. He just got his rear tyres onto the curb, and that really unsettled the car, but Graham did a fantastic job to catch it. That may have ruined his chances of getting on the podium, but he is still facing the right way, and he is still on the tarmac, so he is in with a chance, but the chance is definitely narrowed now. I think that was the moment if he was going to take Brian, because his tyres now are looking very worn. But well held, Graham. Back up to our leader, Osman. He's 16 seconds ahead of his own teammate, Grasshopper. Grasshopper in turn 13 seconds ahead of Brian Moncani. And Brian just over a second ahead of Graham after that little spill that Graham had. Now I'm not sure Graham has got the tyres now to get back onto the back of Brian. He's only got 5 minutes left of this race, so if he does want to get on the podium, he's going to have to work very hard for it. Smoky Tom in 5th, TJ is in 6th after that disaster he's had. Now he's decided he's going to stay out and drive with the damage. He's got damage to the front of his car, and I think if this was mid-race he would have come in and got that damage repaired, but he's decided to stay out and drive through it. It's obviously going to slow him down. Say that, or he is challenging Smoky Tom, so we shall keep an eye on that one. TJ trying to get that 5th position off of Smoky Tom, and he's doing it on medium tyres and with damage to the front end, and you can tell he's a bit all over the place, isn't he? He's not quite on the racing line that you would normally expect from TJ, but nevertheless he's having a good race. as we go down the hill through turn 12 and head to that chicane. So TJ in 6th, Smoky Tom in 5th, then we've got Chuck, Grasshopper into the pit. Now where is Brian? Brian just coming around turn 17 onto the start finish. Grasshopper into the pits. It was just a splash of fuel, I think. No, it's a change of tyres for Grasshopper. So Brian Moncani moves up into 2nd. Graham is on 3rd, so he's got his podium that he wanted. And all thanks to Grasshopper, who had to stop to do a stint on the hard tyres. So Graham is going to get on the podium, which is fantastic. The question is, what step will it be? He's still looking at trying to catch up with Brian, isn't he? There is about a 2-second gap between the two of them. Brian's tyres are a lot better, obviously, on the hard. Graham is really struggling now. The front left is about gone. He's doing well to keep that car on track. We've got 3 minutes left now. Graham may have to pit. I do believe that the red tyre rule is still in place, and basically what that means is if your tyre goes full red, then you can only run it for 1 lap. You must pit at the end of that lap to get the tyres changed. Now whether Graham is going to try that, he is. We have got 2.5 minutes left, and when the guys are doing 1.5 minute lap, I'm not so sure Graham's going to make it, which is a real shame. He's worked so hard to get up there onto the podium, but I've got a horrible feeling he's going to have to come in and pit and get them tyres changed. That's if he doesn't crash on the way round. Now I'm not trying to put a curse on it, so we'll have a watch of somebody else, shall we? But that's what I'm suspecting is going to happen. So Grasshopper in 4th, maybe handed the podium back to him. Smokey in 5th, TJ 6th, Cherry Bomb 7th, then Dizzy Rip, Paul in 9th, and Chuck 10th. Our race leader with 1.5 minutes to go, just over 1.5 minutes to go, is Osman as he comes down to cross the line to start lap 39. Now this will be his last lap, and that's the distance between them, 30 seconds. Brian Moncani is just coming out of the chicane and under the tunnel, and you can see Osman is he's already up to turn 5 and 6. But Brian Moncani, he won't mind that. He'll be pleased with 2nd. So that's time. Oh no, we've got 1 more minute. And as suspected, Graham is into the pits. What a shame for him. Grasshopper moves through into 3rd. Smoky Tom goes to 4th. TJ goes to 5th. Graham dropping down the order. All the while he's sat in the pits. He's got to get that damage sorted out as well. And rejoins. Is he going to go ahead of Cherry Bomb? It's going to be close, isn't it? And there's Cherry Bomb into turn 2, and Cherry Bomb gets it done. So Cherry Bomb moves up into 6th. Graham all the way down to 7th. So unlucky. So back up to our race leader, Osman, as he goes around turn 17. Now is he going to slow up? He really needs to, because his front left tyre's about gone. There we go. I think Osman slowed up just enough. He's going to cross the line and take the win. So well done to Osman. Fantastic win for him. Did everything right. Brian Moncani, well, he is going to take 2nd, is he? A flash of the lights from Brian. He's already celebrating, and he's not even gone round the final corner yet. But he knows he's got 2nd. there we go, flash of the lights, and under the flag goes Blind Moncani to take second. Grasshopper third. It was handed to him by Graham, although Grasshopper did run a good race. Smoky Tom in fourth, TJ fifth. He was very unlucky, TJ. Stuck it in the barrier when he was really putting in a challenge. Then we've got Cherry Bomb in sixth. Graham crosses the line in seventh. Paul just not been his night. Same with Chuck. The two teammates are going to cross the line in eighth and ninth, but they'll be back. Oh, a dramatic finish there to Chuck's race. And Dizzy Rip, he's out of fuel as well, just to really add insult there, and the tyre's gone red, so he's coming in the pit. He's going to finish in the pit, so that's unlucky for Dizzy Rip. So that was the race at Dragon Trail Seaside. I hope you can join me next week. I'm not sure where we are. I wasn't sure where we were this week, so I've got no chance of knowing where we are next week. So well done to the guys, and thanks for watching, and I shall catch you all again very soon.